This video presents the historical and scholarly case for its topic, the evidence, reasoning, and sources that historians and scholars point to. These are matters of historical inquiry where serious scholars can and do disagree. We encourage you to explore the sources yourself and reach your own conclusion. In the early centuries of the Christian Church, the question of which texts would ultimately be considered sacred scripture became a matter of deep significance. This canon formation process involved a complex interplay of faith, community, and theological reflection, where various writings were debated, celebrated, and occasionally set aside as the early church sought to discern the voice of God in the texts that would guide and shape their beliefs. Many scholars point to the diverse collection of letters and writings circulating among early Christian communities around the 1st and 2nd centuries CE. These included familiar texts like the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, as well as the letters of Paul and other apostles, each expressing first-hand experiences and theological insights that nurtured fledgling faith. At the same time, other writings, such as the Shepherd of Hermas, the Didache, and various apocryphal Gospels, were also highly regarded, though they ultimately did not make it into the canon. The process was not simply a matter of selecting favorites. It involved rigorous debate over authority, authenticity, and alignment with the teachings of Jesus. Key figures such as Athanasius, in his Easter letter of 367 CE, famously presented a list that closely mirrors the New Testament canon we recognize today. Yet, even as these discussions progressed, diverse opinions existed. Some early church leaders supported the inclusion of certain texts based on apostolic connection, while others raised concerns about theological differences or contentious content. This period of discerning what constituted sacred scripture was marked by significant challenges. Many Christian communities were navigating the complexities of heresy and orthodoxy, which often meant defending their beliefs against contrasting views. The debates over canonization not only reflected theological priorities, but were also responses to burgeoning orthodoxy. It was a struggle to define identity amidst diverse interpretations of faith and practice, with moments of judgment, correction, and community building playing crucial roles. What emerges from this historical narrative is more than simply a list of approved texts. It presents a profound understanding of how community and faith interact with Scripture. Moments of judgment led to a recognition of diverse voices within the early church, allowing for correction and discernment. This suggests that the process of canon formation was fundamentally restorative, providing a framework for believers to navigate their faith journey in light of shared stories and teachings. The eventual canon fostered unity among early Christians, serving as a textual foundation that has endured through the ages. Reflecting on these events, one might conclude that the early church's efforts towards canonization offer a model for how communities today can engage with their spiritual lineage. This suggests that the act of discernment remains vital, with each new generation invited to consider the foundational texts within the context of their lived experience and divine guidance. As we ponder the formation of the biblical canon, we recognize its enduring significance, a blend of judgment and grace that illuminates a pathway towards deeper understanding and faith.